What is up, Eric? Review number 2 of the day.
Yep. Two of two.
2 of 2. We're gonna what are we doing?
Today we're doing Alien Alamo.
Yeah, shout out to Nolan. This is the second book he has fulfilled, original
Mhm.
book, within a calendar year. Like, I don't think there's a more professional creator in CG than Nolan. Updates
I
every Monday, 2 books out,
mhm.
great, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I agree 100%. Graham Nolan, the absolute gold standard in CG, in my opinion.
there you go. So once again, I mean, we do art, story, and physical quality. Let's get to the story first, Eric. What did you think?
Yeah. I really enjoyed this story. I really did.
Hmm.
It was like the perfect mixture of like a little bit of drama, a little bit of um like reconciliation type stuff, and then mixed in with a whole bunch of action.
Yeah, yeah, I would say so. Um, I thought that he touched on several themes in this book. He has
Mhm.
a relationship between a father and a son going on. He has
Yeah.
PTSD he's addressing.
Yep.
Loss because the mom's not around. So that's even kind of
Mhm.
hinted at in here.
Yep.
Then you have a freaking alien invasion on top of everything. So
Yep.
actually, Graham is juggling a lot of themes in this book, and he actually
Mhm.
pretty pulled it off pretty well, I would say, Eric.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. This was um I would say this is one of the CG books that I actually read through in one sitting.
Oh,
'Cause, like,
nice.
normally I like, just when I read comics in general, I like to space it out for a couple days
Hmm.
just to, that's just, like, my old habits from back in the day. Like, I
Right.
would just spread it out throughout the week. Um,
Hmm.
but with Alien Alamo, when I got it, I read through it completely, and I was like, I wanted more, especially how it ended off. I
It was really cool the way he wrapped the story up with the
Yeah.
the kid being the old man that So
Mhm.
I thought that was really cool, and it was. I mean, my critique of the Chanu was the way it ended, and I think Graham like more than made up for it because I really thought the ending was really cool in Alien Alamo. So
Yeah, I do too. And I hope, because like I know Graham said he's doing like different, like these are essentially kind of like one shots kind of.
hmm.
I really hope he circles back to Alien Alamo sooner rather than later.
I
Yeah.
will talk about what I want to see him do, and it's not going to be a secret to anybody who's been around, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
The lettering was fantastic.
Mhm.
There was no obvious errors that I saw. Now I'm not a stickler. I don't, but nothing popped out at me. Um,
Mhm.
and I will say this, Nolan did a great stream just a couple days ago, Eric, where it was kind of like him going over Alien Alamo. It was like a director's cut almost. And I'm going
Yeah.
to link that in the description below. So if anybody wants to hear Nolan talk about layouts or panel composition or whatever, I'm going to put a link below to a stream that he did, and it was absolutely fantastic to get his take on why he did some of the things he did in the book. And
Mhm.
go check that out if you guys want. So there you go.
Yes. Yeah. Graham Nolan has one of the most, I would say, kind of like underrated YouTube channels in CG. He has a lot of good stuff on there, man. And the like his storytellers series, and when he brings on other creators, he has such, man. I love his channel.
Yeah,
Probably the best CG channel out.
there we go. And I would say this. This is a book. I mean, everybody thinks it's a western. I don't get that. After reading it, it is not a western.
Oh
It
no,
it
no.
is an alien invasion story that happens to be set on a working ranch. So
Yeah.
that's about the extent of it being a western. There's
Hmm.
no shootout at the OK Corral. There's no Indians. There's no none of that.
Yep.
So um, I was expecting a western. I did not get a western, and that's fine. What I got instead, I thoroughly enjoyed. So
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that 100%. Um, Although, like, while reading this, it did kinda put me in the mood for what a Western, but specifically because of the guns that they used.
Oh, for
I
sure.
just I just love those, like, those old repeater rifles and, just revolvers, man. Like, I even collect some of them as well. Like, I
Oh
have my
yeah,
own.
there's some gun porn in here. You got 1911s, you got 3030s.
Yep,
Yeah, so there's some old school guns, a lot of lever actions. So
yep. I
there
love
you
those
go.
things so much, man.
Uh, like we said, the story had a lot of it hit on a lot of elements. At the core, it's they're like, oh shit, we're gonna be invaded by aliens, but boy,
Mhm.
he covers a lot. So
He
yeah, that's
does.
the story.
Yep.
Let's get into art. I mean,
Oh,
dude.
yes.
Well,
Yeah.
first of all, hold on. One story. Look, a lot of the times we look at these comics and we just enjoy them as a reader. I'm not a creator, but
Mhm.
it's fun to sit back and it's like, why does this work? You know. So
Yeah.
I have an example here. So we have a scene here, and it's just these
Mhm.
guys are just talking or whatever, and you have the Sam Elliott character.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, look," you know, and then the very next page, bam, you got a splash page with all these crab aliens like
Yep.
coming in. That's just Nolan understanding how comics work. That's you know,
Mhm.
he's there's a couple things going on here, right?
Yeah.
He's setting you up for a payoff on this page, but he's also
Mhm.
it's also a page turn, you know. So
Yes.
there's multiple things going on, and unless you sit back and you're like, well, why is Nolan so good, you don't
Mhm.
understand. But there's an example right there, and there's little things like that
Mhm.
throughout the damn book.
Yeah.
This is just one example of it.
Yep. And he does this pretty much exact thing, in the World War II flashback.
Oh yeah, we're going to get to that when we cover art. You betcha.
Okay.
So the art
Yeah.
was fantastic. I mean, I got some examples, you got some examples. I mean,
Yeah.
look here, look here. Like we have Nolan, you think it's just, oh, it's a father son. No, look at this.
Yeah.
Like you got faces
Yep.
melting off, crabs exploding, and all the
Mhm.
rest. So
Yeah, some of the deaths, like, oh, the death scene right there. If you don't show the other
no,
the
I
other
just
page of it,
right,
but that crab thing crawled up the dude's butt and melted him,
right.
and I was like, I was like, that's a hell of a way to go, man. Like that's
Just in case you don't think Nolan doesn't have any humor, uh, we got the kid saying that the alien's about to is aiming his ass cannon again. I thought that was I kind of
yeah,
laughed a little bit. So
yeah,
there you go.
yeah.
Um, all
This is
right,
the
well,
page. Yeah.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Talk about Eric.
All right, so this is a World War II flashback, and see, oh man, like everything that Graham uses in this story, it's it's relevant even later in like later on into the story as well.
Hmm.
But this is another example of like what you highlighted earlier, like the bottom right panel where he's holding the pistol.
Hmm.
Um, you have this whole scene going on. He enters this cave during World War II, and he's sent in there to see if there's any Japanese soldiers in there, and he gets essentially ambushed by a couple Japanese soldiers. And then at the very end, you see he's holding that gun, and he says something like "Die, you dirty," and then you have the ellipses, the dot dot dot,
Yeah.
and
Share your
if
screen.
you yeah, if you would don't mind sharing my screen,
Hmm.
literally the when you turn the page, this is the splash page that shows up. And then you see the father, I forget his name, but he's yelling Jap, finishing off his sentence and then pointing his gun at his son.
Yeah. So
And
this
I
is
thought
again
that was just
another example of him setting up a page turn, getting you ready for a payoff page, and all the rest. Right.
yep. And then this was one of those moments too where I'm gonna scroll down to just show this
Hmm.
next page right here, but I'm not gonna spoil too much after this. But this is kind of like the turning point of the father son relationship as well. And I thought that was just like it was a great segue because prior to this, like how you said, like they suffered a tremendous amount of loss. The father has PTSD from the war, and they lost their he lost his wife, his son lost his mother
Hmm.
due to I think it was like cancer or something. Um, and so it's just them two, and their relationship was kind of a little bit, I guess, cold
Yeah.
prior to this, and then this was a turning point to where like that coldness turns into warmth,
Hmm.
and then as that's happening, they're getting invaded by aliens as well.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot going on, and he maintains a balance. The art, like even in here, the panels, he's got the eyes. You got the acting with the eyes welling up, tears falling out. He's understanding what he's did. Like the hug between the father and his son. The art's fantastic. So a little
Yeah.
action in here where he's just like looking at the gun and then just tossing it aside.
Mhm.
So it's not so boring. It's fantastic. Like this entire
Yeah.
book's it's just this is I mean if you read this if you read it and then step back and you dissect it, it's an absolute school on correct on how to write a comic and how to correct layouts and how to make things interesting. It's a clinic, man.
Mhm. Yeah, very much so. And there's one thing I really wanted to highlight too.
Sure.
Um, the dog in this book is amazing. Like I like in my personal life, I'm not a huge dog guy. I've been attacked by dogs, had bad experience with them, but this book kind of made me want to get a dog. Like no lie, because the relationship between the dog and the boy, it's like it's so old school. It's kind of like Lassie almost, and you could see like the diehard loyalty this dog has to this boy, and you just see it throughout like panels like this
Yeah,
where
absolutely.
where they were sitting outside to see Sputnik like pass by the Russian
Yeah, the
um
satellite.
satellite, but instead it turned into a meteor shower, and you just see the boy and his dog sitting out at night. They're both looking up at the stars, and I just love how the dog is in tune to everything that the boy is.
Hmm.
And yeah, yeah. So and man, he did such a great job, and especially like this will be the last page I show about the dog. But where does it go? This one right here, where the aliens are actually the boy took back one of those meteorites that had the aliens inside them,
Hmm.
and then the alien squirts its little acid
Hmm.
out, and then right after it does that, you see this bottom panel right here. The dog just attacks it and just tears it apart. And
Absolutely.
yeah, I was like, all right, this is a dog I like right here. This is
So
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's nothing more. I mean, I had a dog growing up. My son had a dog growing up. So I mean, it's nothing new to me. It's cool to hear you as not a dog person say all that. Absolutely, it's a good point that I kind of skipped over just because I'm so used to having a dog around. So it is cool to get your take on it. I want to go back real quick and I want to say something, Eric, if you don't mind.
Yes. Yes.
This World War II scene, this flashback, has me more excited about Nolan's art than I've been in a good while. Like,
Mm.
you could see the love that went into these couple pages that he drew, and there's another panel later on that he kind of draws eh, another part of the flashback. But holy crap, I was so impressed with these two pages in particular that if I don't get a World War II Nolan book, I'm gonna cry, man. Like,
Yeah.
look at the love that went into this. This is
Mhm.
outstanding. So,
Yeah.
yeah, thanks, Graham. Like these two pages here. I mean, dude, you see so much influence in here, right? I mean, let's face it. I mean, Kubert's in here. I mean, this is
Mhm.
great, and I want more of this.
Yeah.
And I don't know why these two. I thought just so much love went into them, but it really struck me when I was going through the book. So there you
Mhm.
go.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree too. I and yeah, yeah. A World War II book is something I believe Graham would actually put a lot of heart and soul into. He seems like that type of guy that would really do it proper, and so,
I
like,
don't know if there's anybody in I mean, after seeing these 2 pages, I don't know if there's anybody that could do it better, man. Like,
yeah,
honestly, like, that's how impressed I am with just 2 pages of this, so
mhm, yeah, I agree. At this point, I don't care what Graham puts out.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I'm
It's
with
like
you.
an instant buy
Yeah,
from
I'm
at this
backing him.
point.
It doesn't matter. I will say, let's get to the physical quality, dude. I raved about how the Chanel felt. It's the same
Mhm,
thing. Alien Alamo. It's got that matte kind of finish on, and I
yeah,
love that. It's like my favorite kind of finish.
mhm,
Um, it wasn't as bound as well as the Chanel. It's kind
yeah,
of, and I was kind of disappointed with that. It's kind of rounded the spine. It's not
yeah,
square.
yeah, I noticed that too, yeah,
So, like, I will kinda take away of my grade for that, but as far as the pages and
mhm.
how the cover feels and everything else, like, it's really great. It's got that spot, whatever you call spot gloss on the
Yeah,
title
the,
there.
spot UV on the
Yeah,
aliens, yeah,
mhm. So,
yeah,
yeah, I thought the physical quality was fine outside the spine there, so there
yeah.
we go. What did you think, Eric?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much the same critique. I noticed that the spine was a little bit more rounded, and I don't know if that's a decrease in quality or not. I just thought it was a little bit odd, but overall, I liked it. I specifically like the interior pages, um,
Mhm,
because it. I don't know what kind of finish or what you would call that, but it wasn't like that super glossy paper, that it seems like a lot of CG loves to use?
mhm.
This wasn't that, and it wasn't reflecting light as much, and, yeah, I just I really like the quality of the inner pages, um, the most, to be honest, 'cause it
Alright, let's get to the grades, Eric. For the
Alright.
story, what do you give it?
The story, A+. I love this story. A+.
All right. I
Yeah.
I would probably give it an A. I think an A plus. I almost want to because like I said, the amount of themes that he juggles, but I
Mhm.
feel like it could have been longer. The book could have been longer. Like we could have developed like we could have he just touches so much that it's almost it feels a little short, that's all.
Mhm.
But it's not that bad. It's just a little critique. But yeah, I'd give it an A. So you get an A
Yeah.
plus, I give it an A. What do you give the art?
The art, I give it A, solid A.
Oh, I give it
Yeah,
an A plus. So there you
yeah.
go. I mean, when you take into account layouts and the techniques that go into the
Mhm.
everything else with the art, dude, I give this an A plus. Like I said, it's an absolute clinic on good. I don't know visual storytelling. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I give it an A plus. Physical quality, what do you give it?
The physical quality, I would actually give a B, maybe a B plus.
Hmm. I would give it A minus just because of the spine. Everything else is great. So I kind of graded
Mhm.
down, but yeah. I mean, everything else is the same as the Shnu. I thought the Shnu was great. Just the spine just not being squared up kind of bothered me. Overall, what do you give it?
Overall, solid A. A solid A. I
Yeah,
love
I
this
give it
one.
an A, almost an A plus. Look, this is a strong contender for me for book of the year. Like
Yeah.
it's that good. Highly recommended. If you guys aren't backing Graham,
Mhm.
get on the Nolan train. I guess I don't know what he calls the compass. He changes it every time, Eric.
Yeah.
He changed every book. He has a new name for his backers, but
Yeah.
like get behind Compass Comics. Like Graham does everything right,
Mhm.
including during the campaigns where he's updating every Monday. You know exactly where a book is in progress. So I mean, I can't speak highly enough of Nolan. So
Yep. Yeah.
uh so there you go. There's another book. We had two reviews today. Both were actually pretty good reviews, pretty good books. I mean,
Mhm.
I wasn't disappointed in either. I definitely wasn't disappointed in Alien Alamo.
Yeah.
Um I don't know. I don't know what we're going to review next. We might have like a conversation about Groken. I can't really review it though, Eric.
Mhm.
we'll see what we do for that. But
Yeah.
that's coming down the pipe, and I know there's a lot of people excited about it. So,
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely excited about Groken. That's
um, I think that's it. We will come back with another review. I'm going to leave Eric's description, the link to Eric's channel
mhm.
in the description below, along with that stream I was talking about. Nolan. Eric does a lot of comic book reviews that stuff that I don't back. Really
Mhm.
good stuff. So you guys over click on there and sub to his channel. I'm sure Eric, you'd appreciate that.
Yep, I appreciate it very much.
All right, we will talk to you guys later.